Hey everyone, welcome back to the latest episode of Retro Gaming Ledger. Um, Today I'm going to kind of go over some pretty groundbreaking evidence in regards to how the retro gaming industry is pretty much taking a life of its own. And it's gonna be very convincing evidence. I'm actually gonna be using sports games to prove this. The fact that everything is going up in price in retro games. This is not investment advice, but from my observations, there is something clearly going on in the retro gaming world, and this is the reason why I created this channel, is to investigate prices overall and where the industry is going and why it's going that way, so you guys can have a better understanding at what's going on and what games you should get and kind of what the trends are. So to start off, let me show you what I just picked up recently. I'm really right now focusing on Xbox original games because that was one of my consoles that I enjoyed playing when I was a lot younger. And I guess there's a lot of games that I didn't play, that I didn't get a chance to, and now that I'm older, I have more disposable income, I can get these games. And it's also another reason why I like Xbox Original is the system is a little bit older. It's a little bit more dated, which makes it more attractive for, I guess you could say, price jumps because of the rarity of the games. The longer the games are out there, the more likely discs go missing, and I feel like there's going to be more intrinsic value on these individual games that have more of a rarity. So, but let me show you the games that I got. So it was a really big haul. I used Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is alive and well. Definitely use it to find retro games. Great way to find really good deals on retro games. People oftentimes just want to clear out their closets, clear out their basements, and they're just getting rid of games. In this instance, the gentleman sold me a lot of games. There are a lot of sports games. As I said before, we're going to look at sports games. But what really intrigued me when I saw this was the Spider-Man and the Battlefront 2. He priced it very, very low, under $20, and I jumped on it. I thought it was a really good deal. So, it's loaded with sports games. It's got a Blitz disc, but the disc is actually missing, and I just, brushed it off given the volume of games that was included in this order, and the fact that I had Spider-Man and Battlefront 2. And, for under $20 with all these games, I was happy to pay that amount, obviously. Battlefront 2, manual and disc. That's pretty darn nice. So I was excited to get this. I have the first Battlefront, so this completes the collection. So I was happy. I was happy to get that. And then, of course, Spider-Man. Got the manual, got the disc, and it's quite beautiful. Blitz. See, this one was missing a disc. I didn't check the disc. So always check when you're buying a Facebook Marketplace. Check if there's a game that you desperately want, and that's the reason why you're going there. Always check if it's there, because oopsie poopsie, it's gone. It's gone. What happened to it? Not a big deal. You know what? I paid $20 for an amazing amount of games. Yeah, I got a case and manual. I don't know. Maybe I find a cheap game later on. Maybe I find a Lucy at a retro gaming store and I can complete it, or I just sell the case and manual on eBay for like $10. So, not a big deal. Just set it aside. I often complete these things. I find Lucy discs at retro gaming stores, so not a big deal. But so getting back to why I believe the retro gaming industry is taking off and is here to stay. I think this is the canary in the coal mine because, when you look at these sports games, okay, you think, okay, these are all common titles, right? These things are like bargain bin. You can get them anywhere. You know, they're just average. You don't see these things jump up in price. They're usually stable. They slowly move. Well, I price charted some of these, and some of these are going up. Some of these have been hitting all-time highs very recently, within the last 2 or 3 months, um, and it's pretty alarming if you think about it. Because if these are going up, just imagine what some of the more popular games are going to do. And I don't think these retro game stores understand what's going on, because if they did, they wouldn't have sticker prices on their games. I mean, they should be digitally marked. They should be digitally marked behind cases, because these things are going to move. They're going to move fast. That's just my opinion. Um, it's not investment advice, but I think these retro gaming stores aren't going to be able to price these things fast enough. They're not going to be able to keep up, and people are going to get steals for games. The market is just going to keep going up. Um, I mean, we can go into the topic of why they're going up. I think, you know, with the advent of PlayStation going completely digital, and the world going completely digital, and having physical copies that are tradable, lendable, and are property, they're property, um, makes them very attractive, and people are starting to wake up to it. And they want physical games. They want physical games, and there's a demand for them. Um, you could also make the argument that inflation is having a role in it, and that, as crazy as this seems, and I'm going to say it, video games are acting like a currency. I've said it. That is my opinion. I would love to hear arguments in the comment section about this. But from what I am seeing, uh, as dollars get more plentiful, as the Federal Reserve produces more M2 money supply, everything's going to go up in price. And I am seeing that over many, many charts of very different consoles and very different games. I don't see stability. I don't see these long lines, flat lines, plateaus where prices are going nowhere. I see lots of variable consoles and games going up at 45-degree or less angles. And it's consistent. It's consistent with the growth in the money supply. So that could be another topic for a video. I'd like to get your opinions on it, but this could be a hedge against inflation. As crazy as it seems, there are a lot of hedges against inflation. Some people say it's real estate, maybe. Some people say gold and silver. Yes. Video games have entered the fray, I think. Go to pawn shops. Pawn shops will take video games. They sell video games, a lot of them. They find value in those games. So I think there's something there. So, but let's get into it. I'm going to get into some price charting. I'm going to show you why some sports games are actually going up in value. As crazy as it seems. And some of the price charts, I mean, some of these charts are going at 45-degree angles, or close to 45-degree angle rises. Let's get into it. All right, we'll see you on the other side. Hey everyone, we're back again, and we're going to start off by looking at one of the first sports games that I got out of that collection of 14 games that I purchased for under $20 on Facebook Marketplace, which, really I was after those two games. The sports games were just all, a bonus. But it kind of gave me inspiration
to look at the sports games and what their pricing is doing, and can we take that information and relate that to the overall retro gaming industry, because this is what the channel is all about. It's about looking at retro gaming markets, what the games are doing, what are the trends, are they going up, are they staying stable. We are a ledger, we're a statistical analysis of the market. And you know, that's why I named my channel the name that I did, Retro Gaming Ledger. We are looking at the numbers, we're looking at the charts, and we're going to try to discern what the marketplace is doing. So this is not investment advice, but this is just my opinion, and I'd like to get your guys' comments and your perspectives below, because to me this is fascinating what's going on. But let's get started. The first game we have is Sega's World Series of Baseball, and here it is. Here's the case, disc, manual. Everything looks very nice. Let's look at the chart. The chart looks like it's on the upswing. We have record highs going from 2024, 2025, and 2026. The argument in the past was that retro gaming was a fad created by COVID, because we were locked in our homes and couldn't get out, and all we could do was play video games and collect them, and it was going to end. I'm not seeing that in this chart. I am seeing a resurgence. I am seeing what in 2021 and 2022 seems to be a surge, and then a retreat in 2023, and then I'm seeing a rebuttal. I'm seeing structure. I'm seeing structure in 2024 and 2025. We look in the chart right over here. This game, as far as I know, is a common game. It's an hidden gem. I'm not aware that this is a hidden gem or anything like that. If anyone thinks this is a hidden gem or has any knowledge on this game, please leave a comment below. But I've asked AI about this. Why is this game increasing in price? And we're gonna do it together right now. And I implore you to, if you want to do market research on these games, if you want to understand what's going on in the retro gaming industry, in the marketplace with the prices, AI is a wonderful tool that will analyze data amazingly and organize it in a way that we can understand what the heck is going on, because retro gaming, in my perspective, is rising. It's rising across all games and all consoles. So let's ask AI right now what is going on with this game. We're going to use Gemini. I really like Gemini on Google. So World Series Baseball, Sega, Xbox OG. Why is the price rising? Do you want to do so much? Let's just rising. Okay. We have an explanation here. The price of original Xbox, specific World Series Baseball. Baseball 2K3 is rising. They are celebrated as highly realistic. Okay. I don't know. AI got this kind of wrong. I didn't ask for World Series Baseball 2K3. I just asked for a different game. That is strange. AI didn't give me a good answer. I was referring to Sega World Series Baseball. Maybe I should have reworded it. Xbox. Why is that game rising so much? So we'll have to check out that other one. Looks like that one has a cult following. Okay, so we have a semi explanation here. The standard loose disc price of the original 2002 World Series baseball remains very low at $1 to $5. I let's see. Let's look at the loose price. Yep, it's around that price range. It is loose. The loose disc is generally low. We look at the chart. We did have a price spike in. Remember the 2024? We did have a price spike. It went up, and then we had a loose disc. Can you say price spike in 2024 in July? Um, However, if you're seeing high prices, it is likely due to condition tiers of potential marketplace outliers rather than a structural shortage. See, I didn't really get it. Why you might see spikes. The Sega Sports Premium, the 2002 Xbox release, marked a massive visual leap in the Dreamcast era. Okay. Here we got some explanation. Collectors targeting a complete Sega Sports box. Okay. Actively compete for a few remaining mint. Okay. Okay. So this seems to have I guess you could say, Dreamcast effect on the the game. It looks like Dreamcast, looks like Dreamcast has some influence on it. So that's kind of our explanation. We can use that for the future, looking at other Dreamcast games and do a comparison. But at least we know kind of what's going on. But this is not the only sports game that's going up in price. This is not the only one, and I'm going to show you a few others. AI can be pretty good at finding an explanation, but it sometimes doesn't always give you the best explanation, but that's one explanation. The Sega Dreamcast effect, showing that it was a leap into that kind of visual display. Okay, let's go with that. The next game I think we should look at is another baseball game, and it's called High Heat Major League Baseball 2004. It's got Curt Schilling on the front. So let's look up the price chart on that. Okay. All right, here's Curt Schilling on the front. That's the 5-year. Okay, guys. Now, tell me what the hell is going on with this game. Please look at the price chart, and you tell me if this game is calming down. Is this game rising steadily? I can hear your answer right now. Is this a rare game? Is this a hidden gem? As far as I'm concerned, this is a common game. This is a common game on Xbox. Unless somebody else knows something else. Let's ask AI what the heck is going on with this game. Okay. High Heat Major League Baseball 2004 Xbox OG. Why is it steadily rising in price? Okay, here we have an explanation. The steady price increase of High Heat Major League Baseball in 2004 on the original Xbox is driven by 3DO's sudden bankruptcy mid-release. Interesting. Causing a severely truncated production run. And real scarcity. Okay, we've got scarcity. Interesting. I was under the conception that this was a common game. This is why we use AI. And why AI is such a good tool. Because now we know. We know that this baseball game, there are not many of them. While most 2004 sports games flooded retail shelves, main dollar bin fill. Yeah, that's the argument, that these sports games are dollar filler. But you know what? AI is looking for excuses to why this sports game is rising in price. I have many sports games that are rising in price. So we're going to keep seeing if it can find excuses for all these games, but it's looking for excuses. This is very interesting. This specific title behaves much more like a rare collector's piece. I don't know. Do you think that people are actively searching for high heat Major League Baseball 2004? This is a critique on AI at this point. I don't think people are going out of their way to find this baseball game, as there are many retro gaming baseball games. Maybe this one is kind of a rare game, and that's the reason why. And as they get older, as this game gets older, it becomes more rare. But I just, it's hard for me to imagine that is the only reason why this game is going up. But we're going to move on to the next one. Let's move on to the next one. We're going to move on to a hockey game. Another one of my 14 games, the ESPN NHL 2K5. It's a Sega. You can see this. I got the disc manual. Everything looks good. Let's take a look on the price chart. ESPN NHL. Oh, that's NFL. NHL 2K5. Xbox OG. Uh-oh, where'd we go? 2K5? Uh-oh, let's see. Right here. Okay, the pricing, so it's not bad pricing. Let's look at the chart, though. We want to see the chart. There's the game. Okay. All right. You tell me what's going on with this chart. Are we plateauing? Are we going up? It looks like we had a price spike. And again, remember 2024? 2024 seems to be there seems to be spikes around that time. And I think, I'm not sure, I'm speculating, but I think that might coincide with the 360 store shutting down. I think that's a possibility. It shut down in, I think it was the summer of 2024. Let me see. We're going to do some AI research. Let's do another. When did the Xbox 360 digital store close? July 2024. So that is my speculation as to why we saw a sharp spike in Xbox original. I mean, we're seeing spikes in Xbox original games. Maybe the digital access to these games went kaplooey in July of 2024. It's looking like it. After that, the price went down, but look, it's going back up. It's going back up. We hit an all-time high July 2024, and now we're getting, what was that? What was the all-time high? 807. Well, we're about 50 cents from that. We're roughly just over around 50 cents from getting to that all-time high again. So, I'm not seeing it go back down below these levels. I'm not seeing it go back below COVID levels. It looks like these prices are here to stay. We're going to ask AI why this price is increasing and see what kind of explanation. It's going to find another excuse, maybe. But let's take a look. So ESPN NHL 2K5. Why is NHL... Oh, wait. Here we go. ESPN NHL 2K5 going up in price. Oh, crap. We didn't ask Xbox. Oh, we didn't ask. Oh, let's re-ask it. We didn't. Why is ESPN NHL 2K5 Xbox OG going up in price if it is a common game? Even though ESPN NHL 2K5 is a common game with millions of copies produced, okay, it has just told us it has millions of copies produced. Its price is rising because the market supply of complete in box copies in excellent conditions is rapidly shrinking. Okay, this is kind of confirming my hypothesis. Yes, I'm kind of looking for the data, but it's telling you that there are millions of copies of this out there. It's not a hidden gem. It's not rare. This is everyone. Lots of people have this game. It's basically saying that complete in boxes with the manual are getting harder to find, and because over time discs are going missing, manuals are going missing, and but there's still millions of copies. So you know, it's kind of AI is kind of bullshitting us in a sense. Um, while a loose, heavily scratched disc can still be found in the $2 bins, yep, collector demand has shifted entirely toward high quality, pristine copies. The unique reason this specific common game is moving include condition scarcity, brittle original cases. See, these are just kind of excuses. The death of local retro inventory. See, these are excuses. The retro gaming industry is going up. It's going up. Um, this is a common game. This is another game that's going up. AI is looking for unique data sets to conceptualize and kind of give unique information about these different games. Um, and it's at a disservice if you think about it a little bit because it's not telling you that the overall market is rising. All boats are rising in the ocean, and I think it's possibly because of inflation, the money supply, because there's more dollars out there. The games have to respond because they're almost like collector comic books. They're almost like pieces of artwork because of the rarity, because of the collectability. Those more dollars have to chase those games because they have a demand for them. And this is kind of that feedback on that concept. So we're going to look at another game. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. I'm not letting you go. Uh, we're going to look at another game. Top Spin. And I've seen this chart already. Xbox OG. This is a tennis game on. Wow, I did not find that. Let's look up Top Spin Xbox OG. Oh man, am I not typing? Yeah. Top Spin Xbox OG. Come on. Let's just look up Top Spin Xbox. Anything? Yes. Okay. So obviously reasonable prices. $750, which seems to be the same price point for a lot of these sports games. They're all kind of priced at the same price point at like $8 complete in box. I've been noticing that trend. But look at the chart. This is a tennis game. Actually, it's a pretty common game from what I've seen. I've seen this in a lot of different GameStop stores. Here's the game itself. I'm holding it right here. I got everything, manual, disc, everything. Okay, look at the chart. Okay, tell me if that chart is flat, Is it going down or is it going up? We hit a record high in March of 2026. That was a couple months. That was about, I don't know, what is it? 4 months ago? Roughly 4 months ago. Um Higher highs. Higher highs. This is the overall trend of the gaming industry. We are seeing all boats rise. I'm very convinced. I've gone through over 200 charts of various games across Xbox, and I see the same thing. I don't see the prices going down. I see maybe some pullbacks, some retracements, and then going back up. But I see growth. Let's ask AI what the heck is going on with Topspin. Topspin Xbox OG. Why is the price rising steadily? The market pricing for follows a similar pattern to other era-defining sports titles. The game is functionally common. Okay, we've got another statement saying that it's common, and it is common. But complete in box copies are steadily risen to $12 to $15 due to a combination of historical significance, premium packaging, and resurgence of the tennis genre. This is AI trying to put lipstick on a pig, okay? It doesn't want to tell you that everything's rising because of inflation or the demand for retro gaming, which I think is a combination of why the prices are going up. But it wants to put lipstick on the pig, and it's doing it. While you can still easily source a standalone, there, okay, yep, pristine copies are pulling away. Let's take a look at the chart. Let's look at the loose chart. That's interesting. So the loose price was pretty tightly woven with the complete in box for a long time. And it looks like it's separated 2020. And then, we have some drawbacks here and there. Yeah. That's unique. That's saying something. We need to look at that. Um yeah. That, so people didn't really care. Yeah, AI maybe got this right. People didn't really care whether they had the complete in box or the loose. But now in after 2020, look at this. After 2020, people are caring about having complete in box. People want the box art. And now people really want, if you go to 2026, there is a bifurcation going on. And it looks, this little section right here, it looks like people really care about having the box art. They, don't value the loose disc as much. So it looks like in 2020, people wanted to collect. So we have to kind of put this feather in our hat and basically realize and look at other games for the future. Were collectors coming into the market in after COVID? Do people want to collect? Actually, let's ask AI that right now. That's a good question to ask AI. Let's see. Did people start? Did people desire to start collecting retro video games after the start of COVID? Do people desire to start collecting retro video games after the start of COVID, and did want to have complete in-box games for their collection? Did they make that a priority? Let's ask. Yes, the onset of COVID-19 triggered an unprecedented boom in retro gaming. Yep. Yeah, massive priority placed acquiring complete in box. Yep. The pandemic collection boom. Okay, so it looks like people wanted to collect after COVID. They didn't just simply want the games; they wanted to collect. They wanted to start a collection. They wanted the box art. Probably because it feels good having the box. The game, the disc is like, when you have the box, it has kind of like this emotional kind of, you're holding the box, you can see the artwork, you can read the back. It kind of makes you feel kind of good. So that probably has something to do with it, especially during COVID, which everyone was pretty miserable during. So that's interesting. We need to think about that for the future, which makes a priority and an overall in getting these retro games with their box art. I think that makes it a priority for looking at it from the marketplace. That loose discs really aren't a priority. I mean, maybe it depends on the loose disc on the game. Maybe if you want to play a game really desperately, the loose disc, you really want it. But I see something interesting with box art there. Let's move on to another sports game. I mean, overall, we're seeing a unique trend. We're seeing a unique trend going on with charts in common sports games going up. So, I don't think there's any doubt in that. Let's look at. I mean, we could go another hockey game. This could be another hockey game. I don't know if we're going to see the same type of price chart. We're going to see though. Okay. So I have this one. This is another game I got out of that stack. NHL. What did I do? Yeah, go down here. NHL 2K6, and this is Xbox OG. Oh man, why does it do that? Price charting. Difficult. 2K6, and let's just do Xbox. Come on. There we are. Okay, so this is kind of under the $8 price range we've been seeing. It's priced at $6. I mean, this would be a bargain bin, but honestly, it is a slow, long rise. You can see that before COVID, where the game was going for $3. We're at $6 right now. It's a slow burn up. This is a common game as far as I'm concerned. But we hit an all-time high. Besides this little blurb right here, which doesn't really count, it's all the way back in 2014. We hit an all-time high on this game in May of 2026. That was 2 months ago. We need to ask AI why this hit an all-time high in May. Let's ask. What is okay? NHL 2K6 Xbox Original. Why did it reach an all-time high price in May of 2026? NHL 2K6 on the original Xbox experienced an anomalous market surge. An anomalous. Interesting. In May of 2026 due to system What? What is this? Oh, due to a system computationist panic buying triggered by massive widely publicized price hikes affecting modern Xbox. While it's fundamentally a very common title, its sudden jump in price was a micro trend unique to the retro economy in the spring. Okay, God, this is why I think AI is just kind of looking for excuses, and there's an excuse for every single game. But they're all slowly or quickly rising. That's what I'm seeing. Let's see. Let's read this global hardware inflation escape. Okay, this in mid 2026, Microsoft announced unprecedented price increases across its current console stack, skyrocketing. Okay, okay. So basically, they're saying that people who want a Series X, the price tag is too much. So that's the reason why people are going to retro games. It's another putting, excuse or just trying to find a reason why. It's not saying anything about general inflation. It's not saying that the retro people want to own property and discs. They want to be lending it. They want to sell it. They want to trade it. They want to hold value. There's nothing of that on AI, which is somewhat disturbing. Um, if you're a property rights activist like I am, it's disturbing that AI isn't even mentioning it. So, um, but that's for another video, I think. Um, so okay, here's another excuse why it might be rising. The NHL 2K6 is highly unique entry. Now I was lauding all of AI's potential, but now I'm bashing it. But it's interesting to see, its reasoning, and maybe it does contribute to aspects of the price rise. Um, but I don't think it's fundamentally the reason. I think it's a these are contributing factors. These are all contributing factors to the overall trend. Um, let's move on to the next one. We've got so many common sports titles that you know we're gonna see if we keep seeing charts go up, and maybe we see a flat chart, or maybe we see a descending chart. We don't know. We don't know. We're gonna get to maybe we'll get to a descending one. Let's see. NHL. We got this is the next one. Oh, no, the NHL 06, and that's Xbox. Let's see. All right, here we go. Another 570. This is a bargain bin type game. All right, another one. Okay. I mean, you tell me. People leave comments in the comment section. Okay, I haven't looked at this game yet. Here it is. I have it in my hand. Everything. I'm guessing this is a common game. Please tell me if it's not. We hit an all-time high in this game. We hit another all-time high recently. 1 month ago, we hit an all-time high at 715. Okay. I mean, I could spend the next 3 hours going over these sports games and showing you where the charts are going. We see cups, we see descending, we see rises, we see a new cup, a little bit of a higher cup from the previous cup. See, these are technical patterns. We have a cup here, and this is what a cup and handle is, the trading term. I do some commodity trading, and I look at charts like these, and cup and handles are very bullish in that these are consolidations. You first have a dip, you have a retestment of the previous high, and then you have a coiling retracement, and then boom, and it sticks to the middle of the cup often. This was a coiling. This is the handle of that cup, and you get a bullish sentiment all of a sudden. So this is another game. I'm guessing this is a common game, and we're seeing more higher highs recently. Let's look up NHL. We're gonna look up this one. Let's ask AI. Why did NHL 06 Xbox Original hit an all-time high in price 1 month ago? Okay. maybe we get the legitimate answer on this one. NHL 06 on the original Xbox hit an all-time high value on price charting in June of 2026 because inflation across modern Xbox hardware pushed a massive wave of budget-conscious retro gamers into original system full set collecting. Okay, that statement should be applied to many other games, in my opinion. That needs to be a blanket statement included in many games. We have already gone over 6 games where the charts are going up or the record highs have been recent. We can go over another one. Let's go over another one. I mean, here's another excuse: hardware price squeeze, echo effect. Yeah, sure. Yep, that's one. That's easily one of the reasons. Low market liquidity of CIB copies. Yep, we've gone over that. I mean, they're trying to find the AI is trying to find an excuse. But overall, I think inflation is having an effect. That's one of, in my opinion, it's one of the major effects. Along with just the fact that people want to own physical property. They're not mentioning that. AI is not mentioning that people would like to actually own these games versus having a digital game where you can't trade it or a license to play that game that can be revoked at any time. They're not mentioning that, which I find weird that AI hasn't even grazed over that. We can ask AI. Let's ask AI that. And we're going to ask AI why it hasn't mentioned that. We're going to do that right now. I know we're getting off on a tangent, but I think that's kind of a little thing we can look at. So, could all these common sports games be rising in price due to the demand to own physical game discs that don't require digital downloads? I'm adding in that part because I think that can kind of narrow things down to the topic, i.e., people want to own physical property that they can lend, sell, trade, and continue to own property rights. Let's see. Yes, you have pinpointed the exact structural driver behind this trend. The rise in value for these common low-cost sports games in a direct reaction. So, aggressive push towards digital-only ecosystems and systemic erasure of consumer property rights. Okay, thank you for stating that because I had to ask AI that. AI didn't mention that. There wasn't any, out of all the 6 searches, AI didn't even mention property rights. So, but it is one of the reasons. And I think this trend is going to continue. I think physical discs, physical retro games that have the game on the disc. I think this trend is going to continue. This is not investment advice. It's just my opinion. But this is why I created this channel. Because I, in my fullest heart, believe in looking at these markets and finding the trends and the prices and looking at the markets. Because I believe these are, I know this is going to sound crazy, but they're physical assets. I said it. They're physical assets. Okay, they're collectibles. I'm viewing them as physical assets that you can trade, sell, borrow, donate. You can donate to a library. Okay. Okay. I think that's important. Moving on to another game. I mean, let's find. Okay, here's a common game. This is a common game. I've seen this game in a million stores and a million bargain bins. Madden 07. I can find this at a GameStop. I could probably find this at 5 GameStops without even trying. It's got everything in it. It's got, game disc, da da da. Good condition. All right, Madden 07. Pretty common, right? This is the last one we're doing because I'm probably boring you. Madden 07 Xbox. Okay, we've got the same general price point that we've seen some of the games, around $5. We've gone up to 8. We had a few at 8, but it looks like 5, 6. It's the same price points generally. Okay. I would say stability. I wouldn't say price drop. I would say the overall trend is flat. We had a rise. It looks like we had a rise 2018 to 2020. Then we had a huge price spike during COVID. I mean, 733. That was a big one. And then it came down, and it looks like we've been retracing back and forth. So stagnant. It's a common game. And this makes sense. This makes sense why it would be kind of flat, but it's stable. It's stable. It's not going down. I don't see it going down. And honestly, if you look at these price spikes here, looks like March 2025. This is like what, about over a year ago. It's flirting with the all-time high in COVID. It's flirting with it. It looks like one right there. $7 in July, and yeah. So not rising steadily, but flirting with that all-time high. What's the difference? Let's see. 726. What's the difference? So, I mean, 10 cents off from the all-time high. Right now, yeah, it's about $1 off from the all-time high. So, okay, common title. All right, so we'll leave it there. We did find a really common title. Man, I kind of want to find a game that is going down in price. I don't know if can we find one? What do you think? I got one more. We're gonna do one more. Hopefully you're still with me. ESPN NHL hockey. Okay, looks very plain. All right, the same price point, $663. Okay. I don't know why price charting only has this at. Is there any other one we could choose? Nope. Oh, that's the PAL. That was the PAL we chose. We want this one. We want regular. Oh my god. We've got a price increase. We got an overall price trend going up. We had an all-time high. 2025, man. October. This is less than a year ago. So, I'm going to conclude this video here. Remember, this is not investment advice. This is not investment advice. But I am seeing trends on these charts stating that prices are going up in sports games. Common sports games. Common. bargain bin sports games are going up. And just imagine what's going to happen to games like Battlefront 2, Spider-Man. So I'm going to leave it here with that. And thank you for watching. Please leave a comment below if you have any questions. I would love some comments and feedback on this video. What you think is going on with the retro gaming market. Give me a like, subscribe to the channel. We're going to have many other videos. So definitely subscribe. All right. Thanks. Bye.